Those of you who watch this channel regularly will know that ever since Roberto De Zerbi was appointed just over a month ago, I have consistently said that not only will this man save us from relegation, but that his appointment will mark a major turning point in our club's modern history. I've made several videos since De Zerbi's been appointed, always echoing the same positive mindset, the same message, because I truly believe in this man. And to those people that have shown up week after week and been in the comment section video after video, echoing my positivity, backing the team, backing the manager, I want to say to you guys, and you know who you are, I salute you. But to those people that have dropped comments on the video saying that we're deluded, that we're idiots, giving it the old, oh, enjoy Lincoln away next season, I want to say to you guys, things just got a little bit awkward, didn't they? If you want constant negativity, if you want to slag off players even when they don't deserve to be slagged off, if you want to be a doom goblin, you know what? This channel isn't the place for you. Here, in this small but growing community, we back our team. We back our manager. We don't back the board. We don't back the sporting department or the scouts. But we back our team and we back our manager. De Zerbi and the boys produced probably our best performance in coming on for 3 years since the early days of Postecoglou to take 3 points at Villa Park. No one gave us a prayer in this game, but we turned up, we dominated, and we thoroughly deserved our 2-1 victory. And it's crazy that with the right man in place, the relegation battle has completely flipped on its head, and now our destiny is finally in our own hands. And I know what all the doom goblins and the misery merchants are going to say. They're going to say, oh, Villa put out a weakened team, you know, you beat a shadow of the full-strength Villa team. Well, you know what? That's what happens when you don't have your best players available or you don't play your best players. They've done it for one game. We've had it all fucking season. Before I get into the talking points of the game, I want to show you guys a clip of De Zerbi's pre-match press conference. It's only a brief clip, but listen to what he says here. And it's no coincidence that you got a performance like you did tonight from Kolo Muani, from Matisse Tell, from Conor Gallagher. Have a listen.
Solanke and Xavi Simons are injuries. We can play with Kolo Muani, Matisse Tell, Richarlison, and they, I think, are not worse players, are different as a characteristic, but are very good players. We have Pedro Porro, we have Udoge, we have Mickey van de Ven, we have Betancourt, we have Palinha, we have Gallagher. The same perspective you can see in different way. One way is we are unlucky, we are at the bottom of the table. In the other perspective is, yes, but we play with Pedro Porro, with Udoge, with Betancourt, with Bissouma, with Palinha, with Gallagher, with Richarlison, with Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani 2 years ago, PSG paid 70 millions of pounds. It's not a stupid, eh? He's a top player, eh? Matisse Tell is one of the best young player in Europe, eh? Richarlison is in the Brazilian national team.
De Zerbi has given the players what they needed. He's given them belief. He's reminded them that they're international footballers, that other clubs have paid big money for them, that they're some of the best young players in Europe. And it's no coincidence that you start to get performances like you saw tonight. Couple this with the fact that he's a serious coach who knows exactly what he's doing on the training pitch. He's got a system. His focus is on possession, on quick, high tempo, 1 and 2 touch football with a high press. And these are the results. Now, I'm not going to run through the game kick by kick because I assume that you guys have already watched it and hopefully enjoyed it like I did. Like the first game I've genuinely enjoyed for fucking hell for a long, long time. But there's a few details that I want to pick out from the game and see if you guys agree with me that these are the encouraging signs that tell me that we are definitely staying in the Premier League. Let's start with Conor Gallagher. Now, I'm on record as saying that I don't think Conor Gallagher is good enough to play centre midfield in the Premier League. I don't think he's got a good enough touch. He's not a great passer of the ball, and he can't really dictate the tempo and the pace of a game. However, I'm also on record as saying that the only position that I feel Conor Gallagher is effective is as a kind of high-pressing number 8/number 10, a guy that doesn't really get involved in the build-up play, but is effective, arriving late into the box and operating primarily on the edge of the penalty area. Before I started this channel talking about Spurs exclusively, I had another YouTube channel which covered the whole of the Premier League, and I made a video, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago now, basically covering the Chelsea-Liverpool Carabao Cup final when Jurgen Klopp and Pochettino were in charge. And I made the case that Chelsea could win that final if they used Conor Gallagher effectively in that high-pressing role, in the number 10 role, not really getting involved much in the build-up play, but arriving late in the box and hitting shots from distance. And I'm really glad that Roberto De Zerbi has recognised that quality in Conor Gallagher because, like I say, he's not good enough to play centre midfield, but as a number 10, he can be effective. And actually, I thought that midfield tonight of Palinha at the base, Bentancur as the ball player and Conor Gallagher as the high-pressing kind of number 8, number 10 was the perfect balance. Yes, Villa didn't have their full-strength team out, but they still had Morgan Rogers playing. They still had Yuri Tielemans playing. These are high-class midfielders, tough opponents to play against. And our boys completely dominated that midfield area from start to finish. And that segues me nicely into another reason why I believe we're going to stay in the Premier League, and that is the re-emergence of João Palhinha. Now, I think João Palhinha is a criminally underrated player. Look, he's not the best footballer in the world, similar to Gallagher. Doesn't have a great touch. He's not a great carrier of the ball. His passing is very safe, very sideways, doesn't often look forward. But you know what you get from Palhinha? You get a will to win. You get leadership. You get determination. You get flying tackles all over the pitch. He covers every blade of grass. And you know what? This is a guy that wants to win football matches. Okay, he might not be a total Spurs man at this point, but you can tell from his reaction to scoring that late equaliser at Wolves in the home game earlier in the season. You can tell by his post-match interviews. This guy has high standards. He cares about winning football matches, and that was reflected in his performance tonight. He's never going to be like a Ryan Gravenberch or like a Declan Rice, for example, although I hate to say it. But he's good enough for the scenario we're in. We need him to play every minute of every remaining game. I thought he was absolutely superb tonight. And like I just mentioned, when you couple that kind of defensive solidity, that leadership, that will to win, that drive, with Rodrigo Bentancur, who's very composed, he's good on the ball, not scared to make a tackle himself, by the way. He's quite a nasty bastard at times, and I like that about him. We've got a really nice balance now, and hopefully those two can stay fit for the remaining 3 games, and we've got a really good platform to build from. The next guy I want to talk about is our goalkeeper, Antonin Kinski. Now, he didn't have much actual goalkeeping to do tonight, but the stuff he did have to do, he done very well. But you know what? His distribution is absolutely faultless with both feet. How many times over the last couple of years have we moaned and groaned after Vicario just shanks one out of play with no pressure on him at all, or gives the ball straight to the opposition and they knock it straight into the net? Harry Wilson's goal comes to mind. But this young goalkeeper is absolutely supreme with his passing. Left or right foot, no problem. Honestly, he could play centre midfield in the Premier League. His passing is up there with the best of them. And since the Atletico game, which, in all likelihood could have signalled the end of his top-level career, he's come back from adversity. He's been absolutely superb in every game he's played since. And you know what? I truly believe that he's making a late push to be our club's player of the season this year. And finally, I want to talk about our centre-back pairing, Mickey van der Ven and Kevin Danzo. These boys, they're both big, they're both strong, they're both quick, they're both good on the ball, they're both tough, they both love a tackle. And you know what? This partnership is getting better and better with each passing game. And Danzo especially is proving to be all the things that Christian Romero isn't. You know the way that Romero used to amble out of defence, just walking, rolling the ball underneath his studs, just slowing the entire game down, and then just popping a hospital pass straight into the middle of the park so it gets turned over. Danzo is completely the opposite. He comes out, he brings the ball out of defence with tempo, with pace, with intent. His passing's good. It's quite safe, but he does pass forward. It's accurate. He's comfortable on the ball. He doesn't fly into tackles. I mean, that was demonstrated perfectly. I think it was the 81st minute. Villa played their first kind of defence splitting pass of the game. Ollie Watkins was on the wrong side of Danzo. Mickey van der Ven was a bit too far away to cover. If Watkins takes a good touch, he's in on goal. But you know what? Danzo comes across, uses his nous, uses his experience, grabbed hold of Watkins' shirt, didn't let him go anywhere, took the yellow card. That is brilliant centre-back play. And with Romero, he would have flown out, snapped Watkins in half, got sent off, and that would have been us fucked for the last 10-15 minutes of the game. Now, we play Leeds next, and West Ham play Arsenal. And although I hate to say it, I genuinely believe that Arsenal are going to win their remaining fixtures, all of them. And it's just up to Man City to outscore them, basically. But anyway, I couldn't give a shit about that. West Ham are not going to beat Arsenal. I think they're going to lose. If we beat Leeds, we put a nail in the West Ham coffin. We'll be 4 points clear of them with 2 games to play. Now, the Chelsea game is going to be tough. I believe we can win it, but I believe we can definitely beat Everton on the final game of the season with a raucous home crowd, with the fans behind them, all the people that have subscribed to this channel and are joining this ground community that are positive and want to back the team. We're all going to be there. We'll support them. And you know what? I'll say it again. I believe more than ever we're staying in the Premier League, and the start of next season is going to be very exciting indeed. We've almost arrived where we want to be now. The job's not done. We're not deluded. We know the job's not done. But you know what? We have Roberto De Zerbi. In De Zerbi we trust. Come on, you Spurs. Let's fucking do it.